Hi, it's Val with more Halloween stuff. I hope you're doing great. I'm sure you do because Halloween is near and that's exciting for all of us. In a survey, I asked you what you wanted to see next on this channel, and a majority of you voted for a decorate with me. I guess you must be in the mood for decorating, and I am too, so that's exactly what we are going to do today. Today we are going to decorate my Halloween tree, so let's get started. My tree is 6 feet tall, a bit too big for this room. That's why I decided to only put a part of it. I wish I could use the whole thing, but I don't have the space right now. I hesitated between orange lights and purple lights, but I finally decided to go with purple. I wanted to try something new, something I never did. Make my tree glow under black lights. I want to create something magical, almost mystical, so purple felt like the right choice. Now it's time to put up some decorations. Normally I start by unrolling ribbon stripes around the tree, but this year I decided to change that. I found this fluffy string that reacts very well under black lights, and it's orange, so that might be just what we need. I bought that fluffy orange string at the dollar store. I think it was in December or in January. I always keep my eyes open in the crafting section, even off-season, just in case I found something nice like this. I love it like that. I think the orange string turned out perfect. Now it's time to put the DIY ornament I've made. I turn this into that, and you will see it's a very cheap craft. It's easy to make, and I'm gonna show you step by step how I did it. I used to have this animated haunted chimes full of creepy skull, but one day I dropped it on the floor and it broke. I was so mad at myself, but I kept the skulls that were still intact in case I found something to do with them one day. And I did. I decided to turn them into ornaments for my Halloween tree. They seem perfect for that, and they even already have holes. I bought this decorative wire at the dollar store in the crafting section. This is what I'm gonna use to create the hanger that will allow me to attach the ornament to the tree. First, I'm cutting a piece that I fold in half. I want to create a hoop that is big enough to fit a branch in. Then I twist the wire all the way through. Make sure it's long enough because you will need to secure it in the end. And for that you will need a somehow big portion of it. For the eyes and the teeth, I'm using those orange gems that I bought on AliExpress. To stick them to the skulls, I'm using Gorilla Glue, but you can use whatever you want. You can use hot glue if you want to. I bought this one for my monsters project, and since we're done with that, I thought it would be a good use for it. This is how it looks under black lights. I already love the effect. Then I took white wool and I cut it into pieces of different sizes. For this project you will need a lot of Mod Podge. If you don't have any, you can make your own by mixing water with white Elmer's glue. You can find the recipe online. My goal was to cover the whole skull with the wool because it reacts very well under black lights. So the first thing I did was to apply Mod Podge on the section I was working on. I then gently place with my hand a piece of wool that I shaped into something I like, a sort of design. When I was satisfied, I put a lot of Mod Podge on top of the wool to sit it into place. Keep repeating those steps until you're completely done with that section. When you're happy with how it looks, put it aside for 20 minutes to dry. Now you can work on another skull while waiting. And then you can go back on the skull that is now dry. It's a long process, so have fun, try new things, different expressions. Just play with the rope and leave empty space if you want to create a more disturbing look. This is the result. Once the wool is dry, it becomes very hard. I was impressed by the texture. It almost feels like plastic. It looks a bit like a 3D print, and it's also very light, exactly what you expect from an ornament. I wanted to test that same technique on a skull that came from the dollar store. They are made of a soft plastic, so they are easy to pierce. I used a thumbtack and a sculpting tool to make the holes. And I then placed the hanger, the eyes, and the teeth, so I can work my way through. But by doing so, I realized it was hard. The plastic was super slippery, so the wool had a hard time keeping its shape. I used sandpaper to fix that problem, and it worked, so it was so much better after that. The wool had more grip, and so I was able to complete the skull. The result is pretty much the same, so you see you can reproduce that same effect at home with cheap stuff. And this is how it looks under Blacklights. It's cool, huh? And we are not even done yet. For the final step, you will need tulle. I found this fabric at the dollar store and it's perfect for this project. You can easily make 10 heads with one roll. First, I cut a piece of tulle that I folded on itself. I made a hole in the center and passed the ornament through it. The next step is very important. You want to wrap the head without putting too much tulle in front of the face. Otherwise, it's gonna hide all the work you just did. So that's what I did. I put glue on each side of the face, around where the ears would be. And I also put glue on the back as well. When I was happy with it, I attached the tulle with a rubber band at the base. That way the tulle stays very close to the skull while I'm applying Mod Podge on top of it. Don't put too much Mod Podge, otherwise it's gonna leave white spots when it's gonna dry. When I was done, I put the head aside all night so they dry completely. Once it was dry, I removed the rubber bands, I spread a little bit the fabric around, and it was time to have some fun. With scissors, chop the end of the fabric and then rip it apart with your fingers. But be gentle while doing that. Tulle is very fragile. So that's the result. We've made this with that, and that's so cool. I also wanted to show you how the dollar store skull came out. The dollar skull is on the right side of the screen, so that's pretty similar. And finally, I wanted to show you a skull that had too much Mod Podge on it. It's not pretty, so try to be careful with that. Now let's see how they look in the tree. Oh my, you can already see that they are popping out. I bought these balls at the Dollarama a few days ago, but they didn't come exactly like this. They were supposed to be lights. I decided to remove the balls from the cord because I wanted to spread them out, so I attached them directly to random lights that were already in the tree. And it worked. Then I put those big ornaments in the tree. I also bought these at the dollar store. I loved how big they were and I thought they could bring some dimensions to the tree. So I made holes in them and I attached them with a piece of wool. Since the ghosts had no face on them, I decided to make some with those big gems. I just played around. I then added a little bit of glitter. And one thing I really love to put in my tree is those vintage skeletons, and I have a ton of them. So that's it. What do you think about the tree? Do you like it? I love it. I love the colors. I think the white, the orange and purple mix so well together. And what can I say about those spooky DIY ornaments? I really love them. They are so precious and unique. I really like how they turned out under Blacklights. They add something spooky to the tree and make it special. The only thing about those DIY ornaments is that they took a long time to make. I made 10 of them for that small tree, so if you have a bigger one, you will probably need more than that to create that wow factor. So that can be a lot of work, but man, they are stunning under Blacklights. That's about it. I will leave the tree here until Halloween, so it will be around for a few more videos. If you want to help me decide what video to do next, I will post a survey soon, so stay tuned for that. If you like that video, please like. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. And that's it. Stay safe and spooky, and I see you soon with more Halloween stuff to come. Bye!